welcome back guys. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything, but make sure you check out the end of the part 1 video where I show you guys how to build this DIY StarLight Ceiling feature panel for your home theater or bedroom. If you haven't subscribed already, you know what to do. Now, as I mentioned in the first video, I'm using this sander to smoothen things up, but you can sand things manually. I just choose not to sweat as much today, and make sure you wear dust mask as well as eye protective gear. Let's keep going. What a mess. Well, that's done and dusted. I'm pretty happy how it turned out. Now the fun begins. My StarLight is 0.75mm thick. I've got 350 to go, and therefore before I start punching holes, I'm going to put it on top and test it out and see where I'll be mounting my light. Give this a dust, a wipe down, and start with 50 holes at a time and note things as I go. Alright, so that's almost done. Before I finish it off, I'm going to go around and circle every single hole just so I get an idea of what it's going to look like, and then we'll decide on what's left. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now before I put the black paint on, I'm going to paint the whole thing white, undercoated first, and then put 2 layers of matte black paint. Let's get to it. Alright, this is looking actually pretty good guys, possibly the best one that I've built so far. I'm going to let this dry for about 12 hours. I'm going to come back with 2 coats of black paint. I'll see you guys in a minute. So that looks nice and dry. I've got some matte black leftover ceiling paint from my home theater room. I'm going to do 2 coats on this and let it dry for another 12 hours, and then we can move forward for our next step. Wow, that second coat of paint has made a massive difference guys. Now before I flip it over, I've got my needle with me. I'm going to go around every single hole, give it a little poke, because sometimes potentially some paint can get stuck to it. Alright, so that's looking real good. We are going to move on to our next step, which is to flip it over and install the StarLight. But before I do that, while the panel is facing this way, to the guys that are interested in the classic look, you can simply add a frame around it, but it is going to add a little bit more weight. Put some LED lights around it, it will look awesome. So let's flip this thing around. Alright, so my next step is to mount my transformer roughly to where I want it to be. Start fitting the strings in with a touch of glue on top. Start from one side and work your way down. And just like that, a couple of hundred more to go. Alright, so when that's all done, duck down here and cut the light according to your liking and the effect that you want. I personally like it short, maybe about 1/2 centimeter, so that way when the lights are off, you don't get an ugly string hanging down. The glue seems to be dry. What I'm going to do now is tape down the strings onto the timber so they don't move around, and then start on my LED strip lights. Alright, so I've got 10 meters of RGB lighting here, and any of you guys want to purchase these lights, I'll provide the affiliate link down below, which will help this channel, so thank you in advance. But before I mount these lights, I do have to take into consideration of a fire hazard just in case. Now some people do mount these on timber, which I don't think it's safe, even though it's not high wattage. I do want to do this the correct way, and that's why I've got a little trim that I'm going to use for its base. Now this is something which does add a minor cost to the project, but definitely worth it. Alright, so I'll be mounting this trim just like this with some screws. The reason being is because I want the light to reflect outwards and give that solid line look and not get lost above the panel once it's finished. You can use wider, longer, or even flat trims to give different effects, but some of you guys already know how my existing bulkhead looks. I want to create the same effect with this one also. Okay, so with the LED light kit, there was no corner connectors. There's no way I'll be purchasing them online and waiting 4 weeks for them. But today, I'm just gonna put a little curve on the edge, but be careful not to snap them. It's looking real good, guys. We're almost there. I can't wait for you to see it. Now let's put our hooks in with a bit of glue. And what I'm going to do is make a little template to make things a little easier for me to measure and prep my ceiling before I take it upstairs. The template is pretty much a piece of cardboard that I've cut up, measuring the distance of my 4 hooks. Also, the distance between the ceiling and the light will make a difference on the effect, so the shorter the gap is, the stronger the line you will get. Okay, so I think we're ready. Let's go upstairs. I hate seeing my theatre this way. It's such a mess, but it's got to be done. Now, the first thing I got to do is find the structural beam that's inside the roof, mark my ceiling with some tape. That way I know if it's centered from the projector to the screen, and you get an idea of how it's going to look. Okay, so while I'm up here for this project, you do need power, and a couple of days ago I installed a power point with a friend, which I can't show you guys because I'll get in trouble, but make sure you hire an electrician to do that sort of work. Alright, so with the template, I've marked my anchor points. It does look big, but fits in perfectly between the speakers. I can't wait for this. One last step, and that's the finale, hanging up the panel with some minor touches. Let's bring it upstairs. Damn, it looks good, but I'm sorry guys, I didn't get the footage of hooking it on. I was so frustrated and kind of struggled a little bit in the beginning with two people trying to hook it on while we were both on ladders. It was crazy. The size of the panel didn't help and I couldn't move my lounge, so I had to work around it. Definitely a three-man job, but it's up. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks amazing. Every sweat was damn worth it. Well, there you have it guys, my DIY floating StarLight ceiling feature panel. I hope this inspires you to create something like this for your own room. Very easy to do, as you guys saw step by step on how to build one. It's affordable and can be customized to any look of your liking. Something like this being purchased would have costed me 3 times or more, and I just love the fact that I actually built it myself. Nothing better than the rewarding feeling of DIY projects. And just so you guys know, this project costed me in total of 195 Australian dollars, with of course having the right tools and leftover paint, etc. The most expensive part was of course the StarLight kit. You guys saw the sweating and raw process of it, but definitely paid off, and I'll do it again in a heartbeat. If any of you guys have any questions, please comment down below. And if any of you guys would like to get involved and support the channel, check out my new merch, which I'll provide the link in the description box. And thank you to some of you active subscribers getting involved in the comment section. It truly means the world having a little community that I get to share these videos with and learn from each other. Speaking of which, make sure you join my Discord server where we all come together and talk about anything and everything. Stay tuned for some epic content that's coming up in the next few weeks, including the unboxing of the new PlayStation 5 and new LCR speakers for my home theater room. I'm Sarkis, take care, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.